Hi, this is Paul Cannon with Meet Houston Missions. I'm here to talk to guest Kathy Alt, the Executive Director of the Ballard House, which is a wonderful missions organization helping people who are here in Houston in need of medical care and their families. They're located in the Katy area off of Cinco Park Road. And so without further ado, Kathy, why don't you tell us about the Ballard House?
Thank you, Paul. I appreciate the time to be able to tell our story. The Ballard House is a home away from home for patients and their families who have traveled into the Houston area to receive treatment. We are partnered with 14 hospitals. Many of the MD Anderson locations will use us to house their patients. Methodist, St. Luke's, all of the area hospitals. And what makes us unique is, number one, we don't charge our guests anything to stay with us. We can house 40 families at a time. Last year, we housed over 2,000 people completely free. We don't have a litmus test, a financial litmus test. We just ask them to fill out an application, confirm with their social worker, their medical team that they do need housing, and then we provide that based on our availability. And we often have a wait list, which is bittersweet. I'm so glad we're here to help so many families. Many of the families come from Texas. We have many from across the nation. We even have folks from around the globe that come into Texas, into Katy, Texas, to stay with us. So we're able to, it's like a mission field right here in Katy. And these people, you know, there's no discussion about politics or race or any of that. Disease is the great equalizer, and it's a very sweet thing to see people from around the globe to come and support one another, and they become their own support system here in the area. We are grateful for all of our volunteers and our many community groups that bring meals in, host events here for our guests, and come and serve by helping us keep the house clean and tidy. And really our main mission is to visit with the guests, support them, and be their surrogate friends and family while they're away from their own homes.
So. Wow, it sounds like a pretty amazing organization. You guys are able to house 40 different families there. And what kind of a facility is that you're housing them in?
So if you're familiar with the Texas Hill Country, we have that type of a theme. We were based off the Hyatt Hill Country in San Antonio.
Oh, nice.
So we have many community areas, many common areas, living room, main living room area, outdoor areas that are a beautiful garden. We've got 2 large kitchens, and then they each have their own suite with 2 queen beds and their own bathroom facility, a desk, and small refrigerator and microwave. But as I mentioned, they'll come and they'll gather together for meals.
Wonderful. So it sounds like you're providing people kind of with almost like a more of a vacation feel than kind of the sad feel of having to be somewhere specifically for medical care.
Absolutely. You know, Texas is the friendly state. And so we just exude Texas hospitality. And when they come in, they see an authentic saddle and deer antler chandeliers, and it really does feel like it's a resort.
Awesome. Well, how did the Ballard House come around?
You know, it was homegrown by a group of realtors, local realtors that just had a common experience where their family member was hospitalized. And through that experience, they came across many other families that lived out of the area. Some of them were living in their cars, and some of them decided to decline treatment because they thought it would put their family in financial peril. They just couldn't afford to stay at a hotel for 6-8 weeks or sometimes years.
I know I've heard from talking with people that the financial burden can be great, because not only does the family have to be housed when they come here, if they're going to be with their loved one, you have to deal with traveling back and forth. If you're dealing with someone who's getting treatment who's not actually staying in the hospital, then they have to have a place to stay. They have to travel back and forth. Parking is just a nightmare in the medical center. Are these all the type of things that your organization is seeking to help with then?
Absolutely, in any way that we can, yes.
Well, that's awesome. I heard you say you have a lot of volunteers that get involved and you have people that provide food and stuff like that. Can you tell us a little bit about some of the opportunities you guys have for people to come and volunteer and be a part from both the perspective of people who want long-term volunteering as well as maybe even school groups or young groups that want to come get involved for the day or something like that?
Certainly, yes. We have volunteer shifts throughout the day, and you might do things as glamorous as folding sheets and cleaning the kitchen. Imagine your own personal home, all the things that have to be done around your home on a much, much larger scale.
Times
But
40.
the most important thing is to visit with our guests and to
Right.
support them and make sure their needs are met. And we have a little phrase the staff and volunteers say, every day's a new day at the Ballard House. You just never know what you're going to come across. But it is sweet, and we are blessed to be able to walk this journey with these families. And honestly, if you come and volunteer here, you will be filled up so much more than what you pour out. So that's one aspect. But attending some of our fundraisers, coming with your group, a family or your Bible study group or a school to serve could look like just coming in and serving a meal, having a cookout for our guests. When they've been in treatment or in appointments all day at the medical center and they come here, they're exhausted, and to have a hot meal here for them is a real blessing.
Wow. You mentioned that y'all have some fundraisers and things like that going on as well, which I'm sure are critical to the success of the Ballard House. Can you tell us a little bit about what types of fundraisers and events you guys have?
Absolutely. So the fundraising stream is about a third of our operating budget. And in the springtime, we have a clay shoot, and we have Sip and Stroll, which is a food and wine event. In the summer months, we actually have a music event, a festival with another local charity. And then in the fall, we have Top Golf events. All of those are really fun events. This is our flyer for our clay shoot, and this is in a beautiful facility, Westside Sporting Grounds. And then Sip and Stroll happens in the spring as well as the fall. And in the spring, you get to experience over 30 local restaurants and then vote for your favorite. We have the Culinary Award, and that's a lot of fun.
Right. Where does that one typically take place?
It's at the Arc by Norris. If you're familiar with City Center, they have a facility there, and they just purchased the Arc out here in Katy. And so the Norris folks are fantastic at helping us with this event.
That's awesome. That's great.
Yeah.
Anything else in particular you'd like to share?
Two things. Number one, we were talking about the community groups that come in. It's
Right.
almost become a secondary mission for us to have the youth come here and serve. And I am just so proud that we have that. It just kind of bubbled up. What a great opportunity to raise up the next generation of servant leaders here. And I would say our fundraisers are fantastic. So come and enjoy those. We definitely need sponsors for those events. You can consider some of these as a team building event for your business or your organization. Lots of really, really good opportunities here.
If somebody wants to find out more information about these events and becoming a sponsor of these events, where do they go to do that?
Our website, theballardhouse.org, has our events listed there, and you can read about sponsorship opportunities. If you want to get a team at the clay shoot or Top Golf or get a group, you can get a table for Sip and Stroll, or our sponsored events at our summer festival. Have your own tent with your own fans, and we have community groups that come and will take care of your food and beverage needs for you. You just make yourself comfortable and enjoy the music.
Wonderful. Is there a particular person or phone number that people should call for finding out any more information on that?
They can contact Kathy Alt, me, here at the house, 281-717-4670.
And if somebody is interested in coming to be a guest at the Ballard House while they are getting medical care, who do they reach out to, or how do they contact you?
So through the website, they'll go to our website, theballardhouse.org, click on the tab that says Stay With Us,
Okay.
And the application is there. Just the sooner they can get that application, the better their chance of getting into to the house.
And how long is the waiting list?
Right now, we have 11 families on the wait list as of this morning.
Gotcha.
But
Okay.
it depends on the duration of the stay and
Right.
when it's needed. You know, as I mentioned, if you're trying to get in this week, chances are not good. If you're trying to get in April, we can probably work that out.
Okay. Well, oh, I was going to ask you, approximately how many families do you guys serve in, say, a month or a year or whatever you're comfortable with letting us know?
Last year, it was we served over 2,000 people.
Wow.
Over the life of the charity, we've offered over 69,000 nights of completely free lodging. So when you take 69,000 and you multiply that times the cost of a hotel room in the medical center, we're talking millions and millions of dollars that we've helped to save families. And that's our goal, to take at least that burden off of them. It's a
Wow.
difficult season going through a life-threatening illness.
More importantly, that's 2,000 families a year that you're enabling to get medical care that might otherwise not get it.
Right.
That's huge.
Absolutely.
Well, that's awesome. I think this is an amazing organization. I'm glad that God led people to get together and build the Ballard House. I think that it really is a neat group that you've got running there. And I thank you for taking the time to tell us about it and let us get to know you.
Thank you for the opportunity, Paul. Appreciate it.
Absolutely.